Up until 1979, the education of young Kiribati was largely in the hands of the British.
What do you think I mean by...
Local staff were also well trained and confident.
Yes, Miriam?
Sir, the answer to your question is shown on the blackboard in numbers 2, 3, and 4.
The general standard of spoken English was also comparatively high, and students performed well in tertiary institutions overseas.
What's your mother's name?
However, in 2007, a national survey of more than 7,500 people on all islands was funded by the Australian government. It revealed some startling results. More than 96% of those interviewed rated education standards as their top concern. Faced with this information, the incoming government called an education summit. This was also funded by the Australian government, and the central issue was the general lack of confidence in English by both teachers and children.
Some of these issues were confirmed during our 2008 summit, one of which is the decline in the quality of education, particularly so in literacy.
We have this cultural obstacle that whenever one speaks English to another, who's also from Kiribati, people will laugh, and we don't want others to laugh at us.
One major outcome from the summit was a request for assistance from the Government of Australia.
If you read the policy documents, they repeatedly say that English is one of the official languages in Kiribati. They need to be able to communicate with people who come to Kiribati, aid workers, tourists, business people. They may need to be able to use English in order to go to other countries for whatever purpose that might be. It might be as a student, it might be as a visitor, as a tourist, it might be as an immigrant.
Professor David Ingram is under contract to Griffith University in Queensland to implement this first stage language education pilot project, LEPP. The Centre of LEPP operations is here at the Kiribati Teachers College in Tarawa, and the team leader is David's twin brother, John Ingram.
Its overall goal is to improve the standard of English in the schools, and in doing that to improve the standard of education generally, and to give more opportunities to the kids who are leaving school.
One of the central ongoing activities for this pilot project is the huge task of assessing the English language capacity of all primary and JSS teachers in Kiribati.
Effectively all teachers in Kiribati are teachers of English because they are expected to teach other subjects in English. The first step in being able to devise programs for that is to know what level the English teachers have themselves.
Communications throughout Kiribati are difficult. There are many little islands, and to get the testers out to those islands has been quite a challenge.
Teachers characteristically are afraid of having their skills questioned and measured, so some have been reluctant to be tested. Now, I suppose the biggest challenge has been to make sure that as many as possible actually are tested.
At the time of filming, 80% of the teachers had been assessed.
First of all, we're working with the lecturers in the Kiribati Teachers College to upgrade their capacity to train teachers in the teaching of English.
What does this statement, "justice is blind," mean to you? Well, I think it refers to when judgment is made without any favoritism.
But it's not all just chalk and talk, and the lecturers are exposed to a wide range of teaching practices which will encourage their use of English and make their classes more vital and interesting.
I love the students. They're the greatest students I've ever worked with. It's really easy to have activities in the class, they participate, and it's a lot of fun.
In this role play, the woman on the right is in court for robbing a bank and killing a security guard. She also has a sick child.
I think you are not guilty.
great sense of humor, a really wild sense of humor, I think, and I really like that in the classroom.
Using English or speaking English has become a natural thing for most of the lecturers.
The other component is to develop the course achievement test, and we're doing that by meeting with a group of Teachers College lecturers predominantly and working with them on the development of the test. So my approach in that has been very much to introduce basic concepts in testing, but to make it very clear to the participants in the program that it's their test. They're the ones developing it. I'm there to help them, to guide them, to bring as much knowledge as I can to assist them. But ultimately they must make the key decisions.
Good morning to you.
Such a test will also serve as a future model in measuring the proficiency in English throughout all the classrooms of Kiribati. But the real test for KTC staff is when they are faced with a group of Kiribati students or teachers. 2 groups of 60 teachers each have come to KTC for in-service training and professional development.
We've been team teaching with the KTC lecturers, both in training them in TESOL and to upgrade their English language.
They met, and then the man was trying to get hold of that woman.
I'll be able to use English as the main medium of instruction right throughout my delivery of my lessons, because maybe there's this notion with us that students aren't able to understand when we're delivering our lessons, so we revert back to Kiribati. Throughout this course, we found out that when we were using English, like they're being bombarded with English all throughout, they really could respond. And that's one thing that I think we've really acquired from this program.
What about if it's very long, more than 4 lines, or whole paragraphs? What's the important thing that you have to do?
Along with the co-teaching support, there is also a constant process of monitoring and evaluation.
We're also conducting tests both before and after those courses so as to evaluate what proficiency change there may be.
I have seen a lot of my lecturers who have been involved. I've been seeing them working very hard from morning during working hours and even after working hours. Many of them have also come back to college during weekends to do their preparation, planning and preparation. And I would say that it's an impact of this LEPP program.
I'd have to say we're very pleased with the response, particularly pleased with the in-service teachers who have been in the college in the last 13 weeks. They've been really great. An attendance rate of nearly 98%, which is unheard of. You know, it's remarkable.
Oh, I think I'm really happy that Australia's here and to be part of it. This is the best job I've ever had, and the people are great, and they really appreciate what we're doing. It's great to work for people like that. And here you're really able to have an impact on people's lives in a real way, people that need it.
The teachers will go out, and after going through the course, they will do a much better job now. And so the students of Kiribati will benefit.
We're very grateful for such a partnership, especially when we're given, a chance to state exactly what we want and the flexibility in the partnership.
Stand up. I see you, and face your partner. I see, stand up, rolling.
So I'd have to say I think the Australian approach to development is a very appropriate one. It's too easy to come into countries and tell people what to do. Kiribati faces some enormous challenges in the future, climate change being probably the biggest single one, and the impact that will have on the people. And the partnership with Australia and with other countries like New Zealand that understand the Pacific is really vital, I think, to the future of the Kiribati people.